So from a local perspective, we're going to move to a regional, actually statewide perspective, and Mark Williams, who is the director of the Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce, will be telling us about the Disability Works model. As the Disability Works director, Mark brings a lengthy background of leadership in Chicago's service, educational, and philanthropic communities, having worked with Access Living of Metropolitan Chicago, the Illinois' largest independent living center, Heartland Alliance for Human Needs and Human Rights, the Chicago Housing Authority, and National Louis University, among other organizations. In his most recent position before joining Disability Works, he played a leadership role in establishing the Naomi Ruth Cohen Institute for Mental Health Education at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. Disability Works is a Chicago area business chamber-led initiative in partnership with the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity and the City of Chicago. So Mark will tell us how Disability Works from the business chamber-led perspective increases employment opportunities for people with disabilities. And it incorporates, what's really interesting to me about Disability Works is it incorporates, as John mentioned earlier in his remarks, the Business Leadership Network, but also a provider leadership network component supporting Illinois job placement providers. So Mark?
Thank you very much. I wanted to share with you for a minute the history of Disability Works as somebody who never liked history in school, but really likes it now. I don't know why, probably because I'm close to being history myself. But the reason I wanted to share this with you is because sometimes we think that Disability Works is a model that might be replicated in other communities. Although we understand it was established in Chicago, although we understand it was throw it. Thanks. No, I don't.
Technology, you know.
Although Disability Works was established in Chicago, and Chicago's a big city, and there are a lot of employers there, and I understand that some of the success Disability Works had owes to Chicago. And might not work in other communities, or might not work as well, or might not work the same way. I think the history of Disability Works is important for a couple of reasons. One is that Disability Works has one foot in the business community among the employers like Manpower, and another foot in the provider community, among organizations that provide employment services, among organizations that represent the public workforce development system. And in this way, we're able to make some good progress in a number of realms. So Disability Works was established basically through a mayoral task force. In 2003, Mayor Daley, Richard M. Daley, who is outgoing now, established a mayoral task force on the employment of people with disabilities. The task force met quarterly. It met over a period of 3 years, and Disability Works was the culmination of that task force. It was the task force's recommendation that an organization like Disability Works be established, not just a nonprofit organization aimed at placing people with disabilities in employment, not that, but an organization to cross the bridge between the provider community, families with children with disabilities, and people with disabilities themselves who want to work. The bridge between that side and the business community who want to employ qualified talent and in many respects don't regard disability the same way that we do. I like to look at the business community as a creature of habit. When they have an opening, they post it, and the qualified person who comes in the door gets the job. And if that person is a person with a disability, fine.